Thank you, everyone, for coming. I appreciate it. As Laura said, those of you that have been to a Chamber 101, this is going to look very similar. However, I've added a few different twists, and I have found that members that have come to multiple 101s have learned something new. So keep an open mind as we go through our presentation here. A quick thank you to Social React. They are actually videotaping our presentation today so that it can be available to those that couldn't attend, audio, podcast, and video, as I mentioned. So we're going to go over how to use and supercharge your membership. It's a great way to find out and be aware of the team that you have behind you as a Blue Springs Chamber member. So a few housekeeping. The slide deck in front of you, because sometimes this just has a mind of its own, will shut down. You can follow along with me for the majority of this presentation on your slide deck. Bathrooms, of course, are through this door and to the right. And this is a casual presentation, so any questions you might have along the way, please feel free to jump in and ask. Let's get started here. So our membership base focuses on 4 different quadrants or areas. We promote, connect, learn, and strengthen the community. Keep in mind, throughout your membership, those 4 areas might change for you. It even might change depending on where you are within the company. So a representative for a company might want to be learning and connecting, where a business owner that's a member maybe is looking to promote his business, his or her business. So either way, like I said, as we go through this presentation, you'll see some overlapping of all 4 quadrants, but hopefully you'll learn something new. This quote at the bottom here recently came across my social media feed. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. That is a great example of what the Chamber offers and how you can take advantage of the memberships that we have to supercharge your membership or bring it to the next level. So before we go into introducing my Chamber staff, let's take a minute to introduce those who are in the room. So just a quick 30-second, your name, your company, and your elevator speech, something quick that you want us to know about your company.
Clint Saniff with Prime Lending. I don't have an elevator speech, but...
No problem.
Great to see you.
My name is Trey Ellebrock. I'm the communications intern here at the Chamber, and when I'm not at Mizzou, I'm here.
Laura Sipes. I have L&M Consulting. It's a small business that we focus on independent HR consulting, mostly focused on small businesses and medium-sized businesses. And I don't have an elevator one either, but we do everything in the HR realm.
I'm Dylan Obermueller. I'm a mortgage lender with U.S. Bank. New.
Welcome.
Well, Sean Curtis with By the Blind, so I'll be happy to help you cover your windows. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Abigail Cool, creative design consultant with Budget Blinds. And Merry Christmas. If you need any creative ideas, I generally can come up with a couple.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Chamber office. My name is Laura, and I work for the Chamber.
Hi everybody, my name is Karen Ingram. I own the Chocolate Spa. I call it the Chocolate Spa because I bring you chocolate during the pedicure, so it's kind of a novelty. I am a massage therapist, I am an esthetician, I'm a nail tech, so my tagline is, relax, I got your back, and your hands will be too. Thanks, and Merry Christmas everybody.
Welcome.
My name is Jamie Pringer. I'm with Integrity Home Care and Hospice, and we just joined the Chamber not very long ago, and we'll be moving a location to this area in the next 3 months now.
Nice,
so
congratulations.
We've been saying 6 months, so 3 months, and so we're super excited to be a part of the Blue Springs area.
Awesome. Karen Flanagan, Midtown Signs. We make big and large signs, wayfinding, we do basically anything but billboards.
I'm Tracy Flanagan. I'm with Go-To Partners. We're a print distributor, really focused on mission critical print.
I'm Megan Finkeldye with Dog Obedience Group here in Blue Springs, and we offer everything from private training to group classes for the naughty dogs in the
Well, welcome. So keep in mind, this is a connection for you guys. So if you want to swap cards after our presentation or ask more questions for the folks that are in this room, that's exactly what this space is for. But now for your core team. These are the folks that help you supercharge your membership. So we have Laura Vermillion, she's our president. As of March, she will be here 11 years. Prior to that, she was in Lee Summit. So she has about 20 plus years of experience in the chamber world. Lots of resources, a great asset. Love having her as a boss. Jerry Willingham, she's the director of events. So any of the events you have, Fall Fun Fest is her biggest. She works on it all year long, and she's the top, and we are the tier for her. So, but the banquet that we have coming up, luncheons, that's Jerry. A newest member to our team, who we haven't even announced, but to our board, is Becca Blake. She will be coming on to be our communications specialist. We're excited to have her. Trey introduced himself earlier. We're always happy to have him when he's back in town from college. And a great asset, of course, myself, Trish. And then Michael Zarillo, she is the administrative assistant. She sits out at the front on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 9 to 3. So we are here to help you make sure you're using your membership to the fullest. Don't ever think that you can't ask us a question because we don't know the answer, or that's not what the chamber does. Because if we don't have the answer, our job is to be connected and find the answer for you. So keep that in mind, again, as you are going through your membership lifespan, if you will, and this presentation. So again, if you have questions, feel free to stop me at any time. Chamber myths. I like to just let you know that there are a few myths out there, especially related to the Blue Springs Chamber. I can't speak for every chamber, but the chambers are not a member of your city, which you don't want them to be. For example, we have a signed task force right now that's out there. It's a partnership we have with the city, and Laura sits on that task force and speaks on your behalf for the business. If we were part of the city, then we couldn't have a representative there that truly represented what our membership felt and how the signed task code could help our members and what direction it needs to go. We are not a political body, we are not a charity, and then we are not an agency of the Missouri or the U.S. Chamber. We are members of those chambers, so we have great relationships with them, but just because they take a stance on something such as overtime policies doesn't mean that we take the same stance. It means that we would go out and ask our membership base what the situation is and take the poll of what you guys say and then give it, and we would take a stance on what our members say. Any questions on that? Okay. This is not on your slideshow, but I like to throw this in, a little chamber trivia, a did you know? So did you know chambers are involved in projects like the Panama Canal, the Golden Gate Bridge, and the Hoover Dam? So we as chambers, I'm going to say this statement twice because I think it's impactful. Chambers are the most powerful, powerless organizations. We are the most powerful, powerless organizations because we are driven by volunteers, right? So once a chamber comes to a consensus, the Golden Gate Bridge, the Panama Canal, the Hoover Dam, that it needs to happen to help the economy or to help their businesses, it's going to happen. So think about the impact that that has. What an amazing way to think of membership and supercharging what you have going on. So these projects were all instrumental, like I said, in growing the economy and the chamber and bringing those key players together. Do you think the chamber really got credit for it? Nope, because we're silent partners, right? We connect those people that need to be connected. Here's another one. Did you know that the chamber had a hand in making Woodstock happen? So the chamber worked with the folks that needed to get those permits done. They wanted to make it happen. They didn't know what to do. And so the members of the White Lake and the Bethel, New York Chamber obtained the permits to make this festival happen. Connecting the community, the folks that need to be connected. This is my favorite one. Al Capone. If you're not familiar with Al Capone is one of the most famous American gangsters who dominated organized crime. Was that bad for business? Yep. Was it bad for the community? Yeah, right? So the chambers, the president of the Chicago Chamber and some of the government agencies got together and made a plan so they could collect financial information to bring Al Capone down. They were called the Secret Six. The only one that was known was the chamber president. The other 5 were masked men that wanted to hide because they didn't want to be taken down by Al Capone or any of his guys. That's awful. That's powerful. That is a powerful, powerless organization. So keep that in mind, but that is going far together. That is an excellent example of going far together. So let's jump into our mission. Our mission, just as these examples said, is connecting you with people you wouldn't otherwise be connected with. One of my favorite examples is I had a member that just joined probably 4 months ago. I'd been working on her to join for 4 years. It's low pressure. You either join and you see the benefit and you make your connections and build your relationships, or you don't, but when you're ready, I'm here. She joined. 3 months after they joined our membership, they got connected to people they've been working on making connections with in 3 months. So they'd been spending that 4 years trying to connect with other people, joined the chamber, and in 3 months got connected to those they needed to be connected with. The other thing I want to remind you is if you don't tell me who you need to be connected with or my other core team, we don't know. So you have to let us know so we can get you connected. Okay? The other thing we do is advocate for local businesses, a little bit like we talked about earlier with the overtime ruling and taking a poll of our membership. The code sign, being on the code sign task force that Laura's on right now, that's what we do, is we take trips to Jeff City, we take trips to Washington, and fight for what our membership base wants us to fight for. Great example is the medical marijuana. I'm not going to stand up here and go one way or another. What I'm saying is, don't you want to know how that affects your business? Well, we have people trying to create opportunities for you to learn and connect and find out how that's going to affect your business. So if you have questions about that, let us know. And then the overtime laws. We have a power hour coming up here shortly in 2020 about the overtime laws. How is that going to affect your business? We are out there trying to figure that out while you're running your business, and we give that and feed that information to you. If you ever have questions about that, that's what we're here for, to advocate for you. Any questions? Okay, so promotion. We talked about the 4 quadrants. Promoting is one of our major quadrants, right? Promoting your business and getting it out there. So we have a profile that is fed off of what you put into the Chamber Master program that you have access to. If you need help with that, our core team can help you with that, and members. I have members out there. That's the way to build a relationship with you, is to connect with you and say, hey, let me sit down, and if you don't know what to put in your profile, if you don't know what it looks like, I have members that will sit down and help you walk through that, as well as my staff here at the Chamber. So when you build your profile, just keep in mind that the Chamber is a trusted Google site. So if you don't have a website yet for whatever reason, and you're not sure what direction to go, it's okay, because we have that covered for you until you're ready. Keywords, when you build your profile, put in keywords that you think members will look up. And so if I'm going to do signage, maybe misspell sign. Other people can't see it, but you still want your company to come up knowing that their finger's mistyped. Keep that in mind. And then like us and other members on Facebook, so we can share across, right? So keep that, and whatever other social, we use Facebook here at the Chamber. That's what our number 1 is. Yes?
I pay a company to keep track of my online stuff. It always makes me happy when it feeds me that somebody found us through the Chamber.
Yes, makes us happy too. I'm glad to hear that's happening though. Any questions so far? Okay, so when you build your online profile, or if a consumer logs into our website, this is what they see. And there's an opportunity to make that enhanced or basic. Completely up to you. It is an additional cost to make it enhanced, but you can see how the enhanced listing steps out off the page for you. Within that profile, you can also list job postings or find a job if that's something that you or one of your family members is interested in. You can post hot deals. So if you have a coupon that goes out, typically, you can put that on our website, and it can feed out to our members when they look on, their profile as well, or get on the back end of things. We also try to feed that through our Facebook pages. And then, we've done stuff where we send the QR code to those hot deals out into the water bill of the residents in the area, and so they see that as well. When we do things like that, I do see the hot deals grow, the hits grow on there 3 times what it normally grows. Any of your events that you have going on that you'd like to share, the community events, you can put that out there on your profile as well to help promote. Ribbon cuttings, and another great way. If you do not qualify for a ribbon cutting, I definitely recommend going to the ribbon cuttings. They typically take, the whole ribbon cutting event is 30 to 45 minutes. the photo is 5 seconds. So if all you can do is show up, congratulate that company, and then be there in the photo, you're exposing yourself and promoting yourself and what you have going on. So you've got your, logoed apparel on, you're in the picture, people are starting to recognize your face. That's part of building a relationship. And then engage in your state chamber staff. We have a gentleman that works a full-time job and starting a catering business. He's been a member now for 2.5 years, I believe. But through him bringing samples in and just coming in and chatting when he's available, not when we have something going on, but when he's available, he ended up doing the open house for Cedarhurst and helping with one of the galas in our local non-for-profits. So he connected with people that way who sampled their food and grew his business that way. So it's not just about can you come when we are having things going on. I know Jamie's in Columbia. She's not always going to time things perfectly. So when she's in the area, stop in and see us and chat with us. Let us know what's happening. All right. I know. This is the fun stuff you love. Stand up and partner with somebody. I was going to say, if you're red, grab a blue, stress, but it looks like that everybody's spread out crazy. So just find somebody that you don't know, I know, and connect with them, please. Stand up, find a partner, get up, shake it out a little. Oh, don't cheat. Don't cheat. Okay, so this is what? Well, you could be a great example. Does everybody have a partner?
Hey, did you ever do this before?
Oh. Oh my gosh.
Did you do this before, or did you just start doing it?
No, I just started doing this. Okay, are we ready? Does everybody have a partner? Ready? So face each other uncomfortably. It's uncomfortable, right? But you'll never forget this person. Face each other and grab hands like it shows in the picture there, like you're going to arm wrestle. Okay, you have 30 seconds when I say go. Hold on. And the idea is for your partner's hand to touch your shoulder. Who can do it the most? Your partner's hand to touch your, show 'em, Clint, to touch the shoulder, and then Trey, how many times can Clint's hand touch Trey's shoulder, right? So that's what you're doing. So you're going to see who can touch, how many times each person can touch their shoulder. Okay? Got it?
Are we supposed to be working together or fighting?
Let's see what the goal is, right? Go ahead and go. You have 30 seconds. How many times can you each touch each other's shoulder? Okay, time's up. What I like to see is what you all were doing. Have a seat. Have a seat.
They're smarter than us.
What?
They're smarter than
I guess.
I already know the winner.
Okay, so raise your hand. Raise your hand if you started out like you're working against each other. For a second. For a second, it was a competition, right? Why does it have to be a competition? Why can't we work together and have the same amount of touches or close to it, right? Keep that in mind in the chamber. That is what it's about. It's not about whose business is best and I'm better and I want this and I can't connect with that. I can't sit with the same mortgage people in a room, because there's enough business to go around. There's enough business so that we're working together and not fighting against each other, right? So let's talk about the 500 connections that we have going on in the chamber. Connect is the second quadrant that we have when we're talking about our 4 quadrants, right? So there's opportunities for connecting. Sometimes these connections are just about attending one committee meeting, but not necessarily being part of that committee, which is fine. It's whatever works for you. We have By Blue Springs field trips. So In January, a Bible Springs field trip that we have that's happening is down at St. John the Lawn. One of our members, they're going to provide lunch for everyone that wants to attend. It is a way, they're all teachers. They don't get to come out in the community very much. It's a way to say, hey, thank you members for supporting us as a school, and introduce you to what they have going on there. So one, you're going to go and network with the folks or connect with the folks that are already there. And two, they get an opportunity to network with what you guys have going on and hearing about you guys as businesses. So you can connect that way. If you are ever interested in showing off your business or what you have going on, let me know. We're always looking for opportunities for the By Blue Springs field trips, and we do them once a month. So we have a Meet Me for Lunch. We just did Johnny's last Friday. Johnny's is a location that doesn't get to come to us because they're running their restaurant. So we go out there and kind of cash mob them, and everybody has lunch. It's low-key, casual event where you sit in pods of 4 or 5 and just chat with those that are around you. You pay for your own lunch, but it's a way that we show them love and appreciation for them being members. Ribbon cuttings, we talked about that. If you're a new business or you've done a renovation, you'll do a ribbon cutting within the first year of your company. If you don't have a business storefront, we do them here in this chamber office, which is fine. But if you come to those, again, you start seeing the same faces and making those connections and building those relationships. The membership directory, use the people that you want, for them to use you. So if you're looking for a massage for your spouse for the holidays, call Karen, chat with her. She's a member. Hi, Karen, I'm a chamber member. I met you at the Chamber 101. I met you at the Power Hour, whatever it might be. I'm looking for a, gift certificate. Use those folks that use you, right? And I know everybody's budget is different. And so Clint calls down and gets a quote for cards from one of our members, and it's out of his budget. That's okay. He's already called and made a connection. He already told them he was a chamber member. And hopefully when they want to do some business, they'll circle back around and remember Clint. So definitely use your chamber directory. Yes, Jamie?
Are the first 2 items on there, are those on specific days or are they just random?
Great question. It is random because it's whenever the business needs. So if Johnny's like, yes, on Wednesdays, we don't have that much business. Can you come in on Wednesday? Then we move it, depending on what everybody else's schedule is. So we have a community calendar that you guys can put your events on, and we try to keep track of that. And so that when we don't schedule stuff on top of, other activities, but we spread things out. Great question. Any other questions? Yes, Tracy.
So my business isn't in Blue Springs, but is it possible to use a chamber office to connect it local?
Yes, that is a very good question. So this office is your office. So if you are in the area, I have folks that just come in and grab a soda because the kitchen is your kitchen. We have food, snacks, drinks in there all the time. You're welcome to do that and schedule. Please call ahead to make sure nobody else has scheduled this conference room. But yes, it's available for you. Did I miss another question?
So by Blue Springs at St. John the Lawn, what date is that in January?
That is January 28th.
Okay. Is that a Saturday or is that a Monday? What day is that? I don't know.
I don't know either. Tuesday. It's a Tuesday. I think they're doing it at 11 is what they're going to do down there. No, it's literally they're just providing lunch for us. I don't know what. I don't think it's the cafeteria food. I think they're having food brought in. But they're just looking to get connected, and like I said, because they have different things going on in the school, they're not allowed. They are just not able to get out. They can't leave, right? So, they called and we talked about, what can we do to make that something happen, and that was what we came up with. So, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Any other questions? Okay, perfect. So we do our monthly luncheons. Your monthly luncheon is exactly what you think about when you think of chamber. It is the luncheons that are of 100 plus people in it. It's at the conference center, typically there at Adams Point. You sit in pods of 10, and we have a guest speaker. You do pay in advance for your lunch, and then you have a table host that'll, if you're new to the chamber, that will, introduce you, make sure you mingle with folks. But that's always it's the 3rd Thursday of every month. And you are able to get free lunches by having new members sign up. So if you have a member that signs up and you're their sponsor, then you get a free coupon to that luncheon. Yeah, we have legislative breakfast. Our legislative breakfast is an opportunity for you to interact with our state representatives. The legislative breakfast happens the first Friday of every month from February until June. If you're ever interested in attending that breakfast, which does start at 7:30 typically, we normally have space. Somebody's reserved a table, but they have open spaces. So if it's an event that you're interested in attending, let us know because we'll be able to get it so you can test it out. The chamber is obviously to grow your business. It is also used for personal connections as well. We've had folks that attend those legislative breakfasts that have questions, personal questions. They don't really affect their business at all, but that's your access to those fellows and ladies. So, and then our website, the chamber website is available 24/7. Tap into it and you can use your resources. Library is one of our connections on their resources, and they are amazing free resource that you can access. It's called Square One, is one of the connections there, and they do anything from free college classes that you can take online to showing you what the demographics are about a space within our metro area. Visit a committee. Again, as I mentioned before, just because you stop in with a committee and go to one of the meetings doesn't mean that you're all of a sudden signed up for this committee. If you get there and it's a good fit, we'd love to have you. But stop in so you can introduce yourself and get to know folks. Connectors. Connectors are the more seasoned members. We'll have a kickoff meeting where you can find out more details about the connectors on January 21st. It's a coffee right here at the chamber office. But those connectors, there's one of me and 500 plus of you guys, and so I need help reaching out to those members and making sure everybody is being taken care of, nobody is falling between the cracks and needs help, and I don't realize it. It's a great way for you as a connector to make a warm call and touch some of those businesses. So if Kyle here is looking for some personal training because everybody's getting into their New Year's resolutions and he's like, this is a business I'd like to go into and start meeting folks, as a connector I can say, hey, here you go, Kyle, go visit these folks for me, so he can start making those relationships. By Blue Springs, we talked about that. Most of those committee meetings, we have typically 2 a year because we turn those into the field trips so they could be productive. But that task force is available for anybody to be a part of. Gen Blue Springs is our under 40s professional group. It's our future leaders that we have coming up in Blue Springs here. But they meet for lunch the first Friday of every, second Friday of every month, first Friday of every month to plan our after hours. So anybody can be a part of it. Everybody can come to the after hours. If that's something that fits you or somebody within your company, holler at us and let us know. Our golf tournament we meet as a committee from February until May. You are always welcome to come to those committee meetings or just be involved in that event. It's whatever works best for you. These committees will go out on the chamber Monday morning coffee, and if you ever look at that coffee and you're like, I don't know if I'm invited to that. Yes, if it's on the coffee, you're invited to be a part of it. That's how you make your connections. Governmental Relations is a group that works on our legislative priorities. Laura is our liaison between the staff and our vendors and our members through that. So they're looking on changing a few of those meeting dates for 2020. So watch for those new dates coming out, but that's what they do. It's a small group. They also, though all membership base is invited for the Jeff City and Washington, D.C. trips, that core committee there, a couple of those guys go with Laura. And then the Fall Fun Fest committee, if you are familiar with the Fall Fun Fest, it happens in September. So it doesn't matter. You're part of the committee. You just don't know it yet. We will get you pulled in one way or another. So, but yeah, definitely try to connect with one of those committees. Jumping right into our learning opportunities that we have for the chamber. So again, even if you feel like, for example, the Power Hour. I've been to the Chamber 101. I don't need to go to the Power Hour. The reason you need to come to the Power Hour is because you don't know who's in the room with you, and you need to make those connections. So we do the Power Hour the third Tuesday of every month. There's different topics every month. We take a poll in November for our members and say, hey, what do you want to hear about? What do you want to learn about? And then we take a poll of the members as well and say, hey, do you have anything to teach us? We make those, a committee matches those up, and that's how we create the Power Hours. So one, if you ever wait, I have a Power Hour I could present, holler at us, let us know, because we have people schedule conflicts that maybe they signed up for something and then something fell through. So let us know. And then always try to come, because again, you never know who's in the room. SCORE counseling, we have a SCORE Counseling is a national organization. Our SCORE counselor here in our chamber membership is Paulette Crawford. She had bought a business that was dying and going bankrupt and grew it 3 times its size. She has a wealth of knowledge. It's part of your membership to meet with her. If it's something that interests you, let me know, and I'd be happy to connect you with Paulette Crawford. Chamber mentor. So I have a mentor that is just like when you go to the gym, you signed up, you're going to feel good, this is great, but then what do you do? Because now I don't know how to go back into the gym until somebody calls and says, like Kyle, where have you been? Come into the gym, right? So we have a chamber mentor that we are happy to set you up with. So if it's somebody that says, hey, I'm going to go to the after hours, do you want to meet me there? Or I'm going to come to the power hour, do you want to meet me there? So there's, kind of get you started. If you need one, let me know. We can get you signed up. Leadership Blue Springs is a series of workshops that walks you through different things like Blue Springs government. They take a trip within the Blue Springs School District to see what's available, the area non-for-profits. They did small business last month, I think, when they met. It is a group of 15 to 18 people. They meet from August until June. It is a group that you will be tight-knit with after you graduate from Leadership Blue Springs. It is a commitment to 1 full day a month. So they'll meet at 8 a.m. and they typically get done by 4 or 5, depending on what the event is for that day. But it is definitely a great way to dive deeper into your community that you wouldn't otherwise have the opportunity to dive deeper into. You get to see behind the scenes and some of the things that, the snowplows, how many do we have? When do they put ice on? What does the staffing look like? So all those questions that you're, frustrated with right now, you get to see the behind the scenes of that. Any questions about learning? Okay, strengthening the community. So back in 2018, we heard lots of folks saying, I need health insurance for my employees. I need health insurance for my employees. So we worked closely with the Missouri Chamber to say, hey, this is what our members need. They work closely with their key people. And in 2019, we got to announce MIWA, a chamber-based health insurance. I'm not going to claim to be a professional in health insurance. I just want you to know this is available to you and your employees. We've had different feedback on it. We have some members that are only members because of this insurance group. So if that's something you want to hear about, that is one way we worked in strengthening our community. We also have great partnerships, and I've touched base with this earlier in the presentation. Community partners, the City of Blue Springs. So we work together to make sure that we are all in the same boat. And so if we stick together and do the same thing, we're going to rise together or sink together. So we work with Blue Springs School District, the Police and Fire Department, and Downtown Alive. Downtown Alive is a separate entity from us, though we work well with them. They are in charge of downtown Main Street. So we're in charge of, or not in charge of, our base is all of small business, big business in the metro area. Blue Springs Downtown Alive is Main Street only. So different entity. Additional websites that your information is on by being a Blue Springs Chamber member is Discover Blue Springs. So we have found that a lot of the people that come and travel to Blue Springs are the people that have the youth sports. And so we try to target that area and make sure that they know what we have going on in Blue Springs. So when they come, they stay here with us or some of our surrounding areas. Any questions? You guys are getting quiet. That's how I know we should wrap this up. Okay, annual events. The Chamber Banquet is coming up Friday, January 17th. That is our after-hours banquet. It's the wrapping up 2019 and jumping into 2020. It is where our old chair, Jacqueline Reed with the Mid-Continent Public Library, is handing over the reins to our new chair, which is Eric Sporing with ECS Capital. The theme is 80s. Come in your 80s attire. It is more of a casual setting this year than it has been in the past, though you're going to have a mix of people that come dressed up like business casual versus the 80s. So you come what you're most comfortable in. We are also looking for photos of anybody in the 80s. We're going to be sliding those with your company name and your name on our slideshow. So if you want to send those in to myself or Michael Zarilla, you can do that. It's going to be a great time. Chamber Feud is the luncheon that happens in April. We work with the school district on this. The Chamber Feud is another fun way to fundraise. The monies that go to that luncheon feeds into the scholarship program for the Blue Springs School District and one other school. So Blue Springs, Blue Springs South, Valley View, and then one other school, such as Lee Summit, Grain Valley, anywhere. Timothy Lutheran, I think, won the last scholarship for 2019. That was not a Blue Springs school. So our golf tournament, May 8th. Again, I can't do the golf tournament without our volunteers, so if golfing or sponsorship is not an opportunity for you and volunteering is, let me know. We need volunteers. Fall Fun Fest, we talked about that, September 18th through the 20th. And then the holiday social. So for the 2020, we already know our holiday social is December 3rd. It is just a time for us to say thank you for being a member. Thank you for, supporting what we have going on. There's food and drink and merry and cheer. Yes?
Do you have to pre-register for the chamber banquet?
Yes, you do need to pre-register. Great question. We can talk offline on pricing and stuff, and I can show you how to register. Okay. Any other questions? All right, that was it. Any other questions? Think about it. Are you using your team of support that you have? Again, it's not just our 5, wow, we have 5 now. 5 members here, core staff here, but it is all 500 of us that we have. Everybody is willing to help because if you're successful, they're successful. So thank you guys for being here today. I appreciate it.